Kyiv denies involvement in Nord Stream blasts as officials suspect pro-Ukraine saboteurs. Kyiv denied involvement in the September explosions that damaged the Nord Stream gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea, after Western diplomats and intelligence officials said they suspect that pro-Ukraine saboteurs may have been behind the blasts. Russian officials also dismissed the report, claiming without evidence that the United States was seeking to hide its own involvement. Ukraine vowed to continue defending the besieged city of Bakhmut to prevent Russia from moving on to nearby towns and cities, with President Volodymyr Zelensky warning that any Russian victory could embolden Russian forces. We understand that, after Bakhmut, they could go further, he told CNN. Here's the latest on the war and its ripple effects across the globe. Key developments. There is still no forensic evidence from the Nord Stream blast site that ties the sabotage to any country, officials said. However, a senior Western security official told the Washington Post that governments investigating the bombings had uncovered evidence that pro-Ukraine individuals or entities had discussed the possibility of carrying out an attack on the pipelines before the explosions in September. Ukraine absolutely did not participate in the attack on Nord Stream 2, said Mikhailo Podolyak, a top advisor to Zelensky, questioning why his country would conduct an operation that destabilizes the region and will divert attention from the war, which has categorically not been beneficial to us. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov accused Washington of commenting on the blasts while refusing to carry out a full investigation, telling the state-controlled RIA Novosti news agency. Obviously, the authors of the attack want to divert attention. The Kremlin has at various points blamed Ukraine, Britain, and the United States for the explosions. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is heading to Kyiv on Wednesday to discuss the Black Sea grain export deal with Zelensky. The initiative, brokered last year by the United Nations and Turkey, is set for renewal on March 18th, but only if all parties agree. Russia has indicated it wants barriers to its own agricultural exports to be removed for the deal to continue. Battleground updates. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu's visit to Ukraine last week could have been part of the continuing rivalry between the Russian military and the Wagner mercenary group, the British Defense Ministry said. In its Wednesday update, the ministry said there was a realistic possibility that the trip was in part a response to Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin's own visit to forces fighting on the front lines. In recent weeks, Prigozhin launched his strongest attacks yet against Russia's regular military forces, claiming that high numbers of his fighters had been killed because they were deprived of ammunition. Zelensky warned that a Russian victory in Bakhmut would give Russian forces an open road to other parts of the Donetsk region. Still, analysts at the Institute for the Study of War think tank say Russian forces lack the capability to exploit any such victory in Bakhmut. Shoigu said seizing Bakhmut would allow Moscow to conduct further offensives deep into the Ukrainian armed forces' defenses, despite Western military experts' insistence that Bakhmut is of little long-term strategic value. Shoigu on Tuesday described the city as an important hub for defending Ukrainian troops in Donbass. Global impact. 53 main House Republicans voted against a resolution supporting Ukraine, and a sign of a growing partisan split on U.S. efforts to aid Ukraine. However, the resolution condemning Russia's barbarous war ultimately passed 87 to 54 on Tuesday, the Associated Press reported.